Hi guys. In case you haven't noticed already, we humans are pretty smart. In fact, we're some of the most intelligent critters on this planet. So what do we do with all these neurons and self-awareness? That's right, we tell stories. For as long as Homo sapiens have been able to do Homo sapien things, we've been telling each other stories. From talking smack about coworkers to making the next D&D campaign. We just can't stop telling each other random crap. But there are some people that like to turn these silly expositions of reality-based diction and turn them into tales of harrowing, hellish shenanigans. And the kicker is, everyone's been doing this everywhere for thousands of years. And I thought I was an asshole. So we've established that people like to tell screwed up stories. Who cares? But who does it best? To answer that, I've chosen 5 random countries with well-known urban legends to tell, and we're gonna see who has the scariest one. How this is gonna work is, I'm going to choose an urban legend from each country, and by the end of the video, we'll see which country has the scariest urban legend. For Scotland, I've chosen the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie if you're a nerd. Nessie is a dinosaur-like creature that definitely doesn't look like a fist that resides in Loch Ness. Apparently she's pretty passive nowadays, only terrorizing swimmers in her early years. Or at least that's what I've gotten from Google. I'm assuming Nessie is a greenish color, but most pictures of her are in black and white, so really sky's the limit. Also, apparently Nessie was first sighted in 565. To fully put into perspective how old that is, Nessie is older than the country she is centered around. Ain't that a hootenanny? Nessie is a alright size for being a lizard monster. She's 4 feet tall and 25 feet long, and if I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought she'd be taller. You're telling me that the legendary water beast from Scotland is shorter than the average American? Speaking of Americans, for America, I've chosen Bigfoot. Now this guy is pretty freaking cool. He's mainly around the West Coast area, just going through the forest, but he's been spotted across the country. Now so far, this guy just seems like a chill dude that likes the outdoors. So why would anyone consider him to be scary? Well, me personally, I'd be shitting bricks if I saw this guy lurking outside my house. That's about all I could say for Bigfoot. I mean, he's just an ape man that kind of does whatever he wants. For all we know, this guy could just be a giant, hairy hitchhiker. He's just elusive like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, big monkey guys wandering around forests, kind of the white bread for urban legends. Fortunately for me, I like white bread. For Germany, I've chosen the one, the only, Krampus. Now, if you haven't had the misfortune of learning the lore behind Krampus, let me enlighten you. So you know how Santa will bring you coal if you're being naughty one year? Krampus will drag your ass to hell if you say damn one too many times. To be more specific, Krampus will target bad kids on Christmas and do one of 2 things to them. 1. He'll scare them into being more well-behaved. 2. He'll snatch them up, put them in a burlap sack, torture them, and ultimately eat them. The latter of which being done in hell. So that's a bonus. To describe this guy, he's part goat, part person, and part demon. Let me level with y'all for a minute. What the fuck happened in Germany to warrant all of these urban legends? I mean, in the original ending for Hansel and Gretel, they shove the witch into the oven and cook her alive. Why are they telling these demented stories to kids? But I do gotta hand it to them. If I was raised with Krampus, I wouldn't be saying damn nearly as much as I do now. Yeah, I know. Mexico isn't really well known for urban legends, but hear me out. This one's a doozy. Also, disclaimer, I'm not too well versed on Mexico's urban legends. So, I did what any good writer would do in a time of crisis such as this. That's right. I outsourced this part of the video to a good friend of mine that definitely knows more about this subject than I do. His name is Squiddy WTF, an up-and-comer here on YouTube and a graphic designer. Honestly, this guy makes some pretty solid content. And if you're a fan of variety content, first-person shooters, and Magna Penas, I'd suggest you check him out. Take it away.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check. Hello party people, it's me, Squiddy WTF, and I'd like to thank Sean for having me on for this portion of the video. So we're talking about urban legends today, and my task is to talk about Mexico's urban legend, which is the La Llorona. Now when I first saw this word, I thought it was pronounced La Llorona, but my Spanish is not as good as my English, so that's why. So the name La Llorona directly translates into the crying woman, and its story is actually quite interesting, though for the list of the scariest urban legends, I don't know if it really belongs here, to be honest. There's a catch though. First of all, I'm going to explain to you the story. I don't remember it, so I'm going to Google it real fast. Alright, Wikipedia page. Let's go. Well, the first thing we're greeted to is this statue taken in 2015 on the island of... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, because I'll pronounce it wrong. Well, that's goddamn terrifying looking. What's up with her feet? Does she have, like, dinosaur feet? She's a scaly. Holy shit, that's crazy. La Llorona is a vengeful ghost in Mexican folklore who is said to roam near bodies of water mourning her children, whom she drowned in a jealous rage after discovering her husband was unfaithful to her. Whoever hears her crying either suffers misfortune or death, and their life becomes unsuccessful in every field. Well then, that's a crude summary of it. I don't think it really does faith to what La Llorona actually is. So if we scroll down, we look at the regional versions. All of these are pretty similar, but I'm just going to read the Mexico one. The legend of La Llorona is deeply rooted in Mexican popular culture. Her story is told to children to encourage them not to wander off in the dark, near bodies of water, such as rivers and lakes, alone. I mean, it's a good message. You don't want to be, like, if you fall in a river or a lake, the chances of you getting out are, like, very slim. But yeah, there's also other regions like Guatemala, United States, and Venezuela that are also on this page, and after skimming through them, they're all basically the same. She's supposed to scare people into good behavior and, like, scare them from not wandering around rivers and lakes. I was up until 5 a.m. last night. I couldn't sleep because I thought I heard the La Llorona outside, and I was terrified and I couldn't sleep, so I was shaking. I was like... You guys ever do that? You guys ever get scared of the La Llorona? In conclusion, I think on this list it belongs in the number 5 or 4 slot, if 5 is being the not so scary one. Honestly, it's up to Sean. Sean, just keep in mind that she drowned babies because she had malice for her husband. That's pretty fucking hardcore. I don't know how that'll rate in the scary list, but that's fucking crazy. That is a crazy folklore. Also on the Wikipedia page, it says it was like 1550 is when it was speculated to have started, and it makes me wonder if there was a problem in 1550 with children wandering around lakes or rivers for them to come up with this shit. I don't do very many videos like this where I'm just talking to the camera, but I should. This is really fun. Anyways, back to Sean.
Thank you, Squiddy. And I do have to agree with you on some parts of this. Let's say, hypothetically, you're on a nightly walk and you hear wailing. No cautious person is going to check that out. And let's say, hypothetically, you know it's the La Llorona. That's just raps for you. And me personally, I wouldn't be scared of that fact. I'd just say, well, that's my cue to go back inside. And if I die, I die. I can already hear what half of you are saying. Shanye, you dumbass. The Himalayas are a mountain range, not a country. And to that I say, it's much more concise for me to say, I've chosen the Abominable Snowman to represent the Himalayas, rather than I've chosen the Abominable Snowman to represent India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Bhutan, and Nepal. The Abominable Snowman is essentially king of the mountain range. It roams around the Himalayas searching for unsuspecting hikers, small animals, and really anything that has the gall to set foot on its turf. And this guy is huge, like 1.5 Shaquille O'Neal's tall. He has razor-sharp claws, teeth, muscular, white fur to blend into the background. This guy's just a menace. And honestly, he's just an upgraded Bigfoot, and that hurts to say coming from an American. And if I were to see this guy running up on me while I'm trying to have a hike, I'm just gonna collapse to the ground, solely to save Frosty over here the trouble of hunting for his mid-afternoon snack. Here are my final rankings. And yes, they are final. My word is law, and I will be usurping the role of United States President in the coming years. Hopefully to nobody's surprise, Satan's right-hand man, Krampus, is first. The thought of me saying damn one too many times and then being dragged to hell and tortured for eternity because of it kinda makes me reconsider whether or not we should have freedom of speech. The Abominable Snowman being second and not first is because, at least with this guy, I'm gonna die quick, and that's the end of it. La Llorona is third because she plays a game of psychological chess with you before anything actually happens. Are you gonna be unlucky for a few weeks, or are you gonna suffer a fatal heart attack? It's a gamble, but it's not too bad because, like I said before, anyone with survival instincts is not gonna be around long enough to see her face, or lack thereof. Nessie is fourth because of her age, history, and the fact that she actually has a recorded body count. Bigfoot, on the other hand, just sticks around long enough to take a blurry photo and then fucks off. And that's what I believe to be the scariest urban legends out of this batch of countries. If you like this video and want me to do another batch, let me know in the comments. If you didn't like this video and think your smug ass could do better, let me know in the comments. If you want your country to be listed next but don't have any urban legends to tell, why not make your own? Put on a kabuki mask and murder every local camper you see. Stay safe, eat cake, and I'll see you later.